Say you're doing it all again. He's the same God. He's doing it all again. Hello, hello, hello. He's doing it all again. Hey, Apostle, how are you? Thanks for joining. He won't change. He's the same God. He's the same God. You said you caught it this time. You had your phone in your hand. Yep. Usually I'm around between 1 and 3 these days. In between that time. It's very rare that it's later. Usually on Wednesdays for sure. It hasn't been every Wednesday lately, but usually on Wednesdays. Sometimes on Sundays as God lead me. That's rare too, but it happens here and there. But you just really never know. But my live schedule is usually on Wednesday. Not schedule, but because you know the plan for the most part, if God give me something to speak on for, that's kind of how I do it. So yeah, hey Miss Shauna. I know, right? You made it today. You on time. Look, you on time for class today. I'm gonna call it class. Oh. So I was just I was leaving. I was on my way to get coffee. I had just left somewhere and I was going to get coffee. And when I got in my car, the song that was playing was goodness. What is it called? Your goodness. It's one. Wait a minute. What's the name? It's by CC Wine. And I know this song. I don't know why it's not the part that I'm looking for not coming to me. But he can never fail. That's what she was, the part that I'm pointing out. It's just how God can't fail. He'll never fail. He can't fail. It's impossible for God to fail. I can't even get the rhythm, the melody, the song in my head right now, and I know it. But it was just so on point because of what I'm speaking on today, because God had just been, he was just saying how he said, I would not let you fall. Your money been crazy, but something come through for me next week. I will be booking my section with you. Okay, that sounds good. Just, I'm here. I'm here. Listen, your money been crazy. I think you have to know it is, but know it's getting better at the same time. I didn't, know it's getting better, especially when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, which kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm going to talk about today too. And what God is saying that is that he would not let you fall. He would not let you fall. I'm trying to think of what she said. I can't even think of the part that I want to say, and I know it. it's kind of like you can't fail. God cannot fail. God cannot. For some reason, it won't even come to me right this second. But anyhow, because I need to talk to you. I got a lot going on. You know what, Apostle? I get it. Let me tell you something. A lot of people got a lot going on. God's people. I mean, other people too, but they don't even know they got a lot going on. Yeah, but I hear you. I hear you. You know, what I will say is try not to make it more than it needs to be. Don't let things stress you. Don't let things, overwhelm you. You know, God is good and He's with you right in the midst of whatever you're going through. So, just keep that in mind. Remember that. Now, and just try not to make it more than what it has to be. Sometimes in life, not negating what it is, and that it ain't a bit much, and you be having things going on. I know all about it. If you having things going on, or things be going on, and at the same time, it's like it's going on, but I'm not. I don't want to say phased by it. Just don't let it. I'm gonna put it like this: do what you can, and the rest don't concern yourself about. Do what you can, do, and let God lead you in all that. When you trust in God, He gonna work it all out. So listen, God will not let you fall, and I want to lead this with Jude 1:24-25. Now unto Him that is able to keep you from falling, and to present you faultless before the presence of His glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise God, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate you all for coming in. Just want to reinforce that God would not let you fall. And what God been speaking particularly to me about is how when you're walking with Him, even before you thought you was walking with Him, He was with you. And I say that because it's different for everybody. Sometimes you're not on that path per se, but even when you wasn't, if you're on it now, God was with you all along, and all along He wouldn't let you fall. That's been His thing. And God was just like taking me back over my life and showing me different things, and how first it started off last night. I was thinking about, and I was reflecting upon different situations where it could have went one way, but it went a different way because God stepped in and took care of it. And I was just so grateful just in that moment, in that moment of just reflecting upon these things. And these things were more recent things, I'll say, in the last few years or so. And then I went further back and just started just thinking of things and realizing, not that I didn't know, but it's in that moment reflecting how, God, you always been there, and you always came through, and you always come through. And God said, I will not let you fall. He said, I will not let you fall. Now I hear Him right now saying, because you are mine. When you belong to God, He will not let you fall. When you're following His instructions, even sometimes when you know how you be kind of just not, I want to almost say on a straight and narrow, but it's like at the same time, what is that exactly? You do your best. God knows your heart. He knows when you're sincere. He knows where you're at. And so when you coming from a place of sincerely wanting to do right by him and do his will and walk in his ways, he will not let you fall. Again, even before you get to that place, if that, be the situation where you had that attitude, he already know what you're gonna come to. He already know. He's God. He called you. He know what he called you to. God knows that we have to grow, learn, and develop. And that makes me think of this. I was talking to God not long ago about something that came up. I'll say that. I had a communication going on with a loved one. And based on what they were saying, it's a situation where it's not in our control. God is in control. And so I was talking to God about how I said, God, I really don't know what you're doing. It comes times and it's be situations where I don't know what God is doing. I just follow his lead, do whatever it is he's asking me to do or showing me to do. Or, well, yeah, that for the most part. But sometimes, even in doing that, depending on how things are going, it's almost questionable. Like, God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what you're telling me to do? But the thing is, when you know what God is leading you to do and what he has shown you to do, it's not really questionable. But the thing is, sometimes God can not change his mind, but he might say, do this. And then he might want you to do something else. And what he pointed out to me, he said, I will tell you that if that be the case. And so, if it's something different he wants you to do. So I'm saying all that to say that going through that, having this whole little process, and then I just kind of do this with different, across the board with different situations, because one thing that I've come to understand is that I'm not in control. God is. We're not in control. God is. We in control of us. And even then, we want God to be in control of us. But you still have to have some self-discipline and self-control, of course. So God was just pointing out to me how even when, okay, let me share this part. This will help me explain it better. I was reminded of something I watched not long ago, and it was a young lady, and she was talking about how, and then I've heard another man that talks about relationships. He spoke on it, but a young lady, he speaks about it, in different variations and ways. But this young lady said, she was talking about like when you meet a guy or a woman, but in this case more so a man, and certain things you see, certain things are happening and going on. It was a question of, why did you keep going? Why? What is it that you don't stop and say, I'm not doing this, and you move away from it? And it's a thing where it's right there in your face that this ain't it. But this is the thing. The reason why, and I'm just speaking across the board, the reason why something can be right there and it's not a good thing to continue with it, but we do, is because of where we are. We're at a place where we haven't either, whatever the case may be, sometimes you don't have inner resolve concerning certain situations and circumstances. Maybe it's there, it's right in your face, but you don't even know what it is. You don't understand it to be like, oh, this is not good for me. You don't understand, and you don't get these things until you get it, until you learn it, until you have some experiences, and then you learn it through a lot of times having experiences. So I'm saying all that to say, you can't act on something, without, okay, I'm trying to explain this the best way I can. You can't make a decision or act on something based on something you're going to later know, or that you don't know at the time. I hope I'm making sense. It goes right back to, it's like a baby. Baby ain't going to come out the mother's womb and start walking, but I'm laughing because you never know. Miracles happen, things do happen, but you get what I'm saying. For the most part, that's just not how it go. So you can't expect the baby, you can't reprimand the baby that was just born, just came out of the mother's womb. You can't trip on that baby because it ain't walking yet. It ain't time for that baby to walk. That baby has to learn. It has to go through its process. It has to get to evolve to that point to where it's able to walk. So you can't come to the baby and say, well, baby, you know, why you didn't walk when you came out your mama's womb? You in order to get around better, that's the best thing for you to do is to walk, because the baby is just not there. It's not hasn't come to that place where it's time for it to walk. So I'm using that, trying to use it. I'm hoping that I'm making sense here as an example to say, in your growth, in your development, and where you are, you can't make a certain decisions yet because you don't know. You just don't know. So I mentioned all that to say that God was pointing that out to me today, and He said, when you didn't know, you don't get it for that. You don't get it for it's. I'm just hearing right now, when you know better, do better. And so going back to what the young lady was saying, why do we do that? Because we don't know yet. Unless you do and you just don't care, or because that can happen too. Some people just go along, for different reasons, want to just have somebody, and that just don't apply in relationships. I'm just using it as an example because it's what occurred to me today. And she asked, well, why do we keep going? Sometimes we didn't know. That's why. Otherwise, how is it that so many people have been in relationships? Listen, if a relationship was meant, or we knew everything we needed to know to be in a relationship, have a healthy relationship, make it last, all that, it wouldn't be so many breakups. We wouldn't have boyfriend after boyfriend, girlfriend after girlfriend, even husband after husband, or wife after wife. You get what I'm saying? So all of those things are part of your experiences. How you learn, you should be learning from these experiences. You should be taking away from something from these experiences so that you can be better. Whether it's where you could have done something different, or you need to do some things within yourself, or whether it's a thing where you make better choices as to who you choose, and how you relate to them, or what you want, what you prefer, because that's part of how you learn what's for you, by going through stuff that's not for you, so you can identify what's not for you. Going back to experience should be teaching us. When you come across something that you already know, that ain't for me, you wouldn't continue with that because you already learned, and you know the signs, you can see the traits, you know what that is for the most part. And so it's the same thing. So I'm saying all that to say that God was saying to me that He would not let you fall, even when you figuring it out, because the truth of the matter is that's just normal. It's just normal. We got to learn. And so that's why it's not appropriate to, when people try to, like, I just think, I know we live in a world where people just judge. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody wants something to say. And there's nothing overall wrong with having your disposition on things, having your, you're a human being. Hopefully you're using your critical thinking skills, and you're looking at a thing, reflecting upon it, assessing it, those kind of things, because that's healthy. It's healthy to do it in an appropriate way. But unfortunately, we got different people out here, and it is what it is. I'm not judging, because I may have been that too. And I'm trying to be more mindful of that, to not be so quick to point fingers, so to speak. And that way, when I said that, I just heard, when you pointing a finger, all those other fingers point back at you, because we all have to learn, and we all have to grow, and we all at different places. So we need to be more accommodating to the extent you need to be to one another. And so in all of that, we don't know everything. We don't know everything. And we don't even know everything where it concerns others. And this doesn't mean we're supposed to know, but we're supposed to be more in a place of being neutral. And what I mean by that is, God don't want none of us to fall. And so when we come from a place of causing somebody, sometimes when you're doing this, that's almost like trying to knock somebody down. I'm going to speak on this because it's just really, I just keep coming to me. God was just talking to me last night about how he brought to my attention that, and it kept coming up. It kept coming up. So I finally started, and I heard somebody, a couple of different few people say something about it outside of ministry. I think it was a TV show or two that I watched. One of them being, what's it called? The Queens. I think the Queens of R&B with SWV and Escape. Those are groups that I grew up on. I was hearing the buzz about, whatever they doing in this show. So I checked it out. And it was very disturbing what I saw because of something that's going on with a young lady and her mom and her sister. But anyway, I mentioned that to say that it was something going on in that show about body shaming. And it was like they were saying that the sister body shamed the other sister, but that really wasn't what she was doing, but it kept being a thing. And then I heard somebody else speak on body shaming, a whole totally separate situation. And then last night, God started, and somebody else too, a little after that. This been all over maybe a week or so. But last night, God started talking to me directly and started telling me about a certain person that I no longer deal with, is a man, is now resorting to body shaming me. And it's the thing, I'm like, body shaming? I'm like, who do? And then this is the person that's supposed to be grown, but of course, I feel like that's for kids, number one. Not even for kids. I just don't think it should be for anybody. Because everybody got something or not. Listen, I'm trying to get to what I'm trying to get to the best way I can. God was telling me that this is a person that body shames me, and maybe the people that they know, that he talked to. I don't deal with none of them, but for some reason they love talking about me and watching me. But God said they body shaming me, so that's what they resorted to, because I guess nothing else they can come up with. And I'm like, body shaming? And I said, with what? And then I said, my stomach. I'm like, this stomach? Listen, I don't care nothing about this stomach. I used to. And I know what to do to get it in, but right now it just ain't working. I'm a woman of a certain age. I don't care nothing about that. Okay? Now, maybe other women out here, they ain't got that issue. I ain't tripping on them. Everybody is different. But I'm saying all that to say what I'm not getting ready to do is be talking about body shaming nobody or shaming nobody at all. Here's the thing. What God pointed out to me. He said, because it's being attack after attack, attack after attack, different things. Don't call me out now. You be body shaming, Wayne? I hope not. I hope you just being funny. But because that's not cool. I'm talking about for anybody. Just like, what is that? Who is you to? That's the other part. Let me say this too. God said that people be trying to pick you apart. That's what I'm getting to. He said people trying to pick you apart because they trying to, people try to speak certain things over you, or you ain't even got to be around. They try to talk about you. All those are word curses, by the way. Those are what they call spells too. Those are forms of trying to put that on you. And what happens is, what they're wishing on you, you know how they say they want this, they want, when they see what they're doing or attempting to do, what they're wishing, they want to see you fall, basically. And when it's not happening, God said they would start to pick you apart and find something, and he said they resorted to, after all this time, this being some time, to body shaming you. And I'm like, it tripped me out and tickled me. Then when he said, my stomach. Listen, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was just sharing something with her about these kids that live near me, and I call them kids because that's what they act like. They're adults with children, but they're kids to me. But they don't realize that I'm not their age because I don't look it. It's just what it is. And, just the kind of stuff that they on and just people in general on crazy. I made a statement and I kept saying, I don't want to say my age, but I kept saying, I put it like this, I'm a half a century. So I kept saying, I'm such a years old. I was using that and saying that to everything, to every point I was making. So I'm saying that to say that I'm like at a place in my life where, I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about a whole lot of stuff that, when you younger, you don't care nothing about. But God was showing me that the whole point in that whole body shaming, God said they're trying to get me to fall. It's like trying to pick me apart. But to me, if anything else you haven't been doing don't work, what would make you think that would? Now, mind you, they not communicating this to me personally. They doing this among each other. He doing this with himself and among the people that he deal with. And from what I understand, he do it with the women that he deal with. Obviously, it's someone I used to deal with some time ago, but I no longer do. So it's weird. Well, you just told my stuff. And I don't mind it, Miss Shauna. I just, I don't know. But in June, huh? Okay. So I just turned man in October. I said turn man. You got a different state of mind, Wayne. The same thing has happened to me. I'm telling you, God be knowing. Yeah. And so God said this. He said, I will not let you fall and all that, because if this don't work, people try this, they try this, outside of even what people trying to do. And it tickled me so, because I said, how is that going to make me fall? Because that's what God was saying. They're trying to make you fall. People think that if they group up with each other, and I see it all the time, it be wigging me out, and certain little things that people be doing, and that be they tactic. And I laugh because I'm like, what's that supposed to do? Body shaming is going to make me fall. You think you picking me apart over there? First of all, even if you came to my face, and this is just me, and said whatever, and whatever, I wouldn't care. Because it ain't what you say about me. I bet you, listen, here, go right here. Go look at yourself. Because we all got something. I mean, and that's, if you're concerned about shallow stuff, because that's shallow to me. It's like, but shallow people, that's what they do. That's literally what they do. They be on small-minded stuff that don't matter. And see, that comes from a place of insecurity yourself and not feeling good about yourself. And you think somebody else got it going on where you think you don't. So now I got to find something wrong with you. I got to pick you apart, and all you, in this case, you could come up with was, her stomach. I'm like, what? I'm like, what about this stomach? I'm like, it's a whole lot that go in this stomach. I was like joking around about it because it's like, so what? You know what I mean? So I do. I got a little stomach. And I don't care. I used to care. And what I mean by I used to care, because I used to try to get it down. And I don't do it right now, because I'm going to put it like this. It's bigger than just, I don't want to say too much. I love all my thickness too. Hey, Miss Shelley. That's the other thing. I don't want to be small. I ain't trying to have no big belly, but I do. But it's things that contribute to that. And I don't want to go too much in it, but some of it is medical. Some of I got certain things going on, but it ain't nothing I sit around and be like, oh, I got this condition. I got this. It is what it is. I don't even think about it really like that. Sometimes I have to be reminded. Like when I'm seeing my physician about something and I mention something, they be like, well, that could be. And I'd be like, that's right. I forget. I be forgetting because I'm not walking around thinking about that kind of a stuff. Now, that don't mean that I don't do things to care for myself properly, because I do. But anyway, I don't know what that means, Wayne. I'm just gonna leave that alone. Oh, I get it. No, I don't eat human beings. I don't do that. I don't know what you want, Wayne, but I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna keep moving on. But listen, Kenny people, this is what God was saying. He just kept emphasizing this. I will not let you fall. I will not let you fall. Hey, Michelle, I will not let you fall. He said he ain't gonna let you fall. And not just when it come to people trying to do whatever, and that's small to me. Trying to pick you apart, body shame, but it's a real thing where people try to do that openly or towards you in an effort to make you feel small, to break you down, to make you fall, They be trying to make you fall. They be trying to pull you down. But when you don't care about stuff like that, it doesn't work. And you just see them for who they are. People don't understand that when they do those things, they're showing who they are. I mean, you can't really do nothing but show who you are, because what's in you gonna come out. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. It's gonna be shown. You can't. You could try to hide it, but it comes out. It leaks. You can't. If you gotta open your mouth and talk, who you are gonna come out, even if you trying to hide it, because energy is everything. People can feel, and especially when you tuned in. Sometimes even when you don't know you tuned in to think you are, you still pick up on it. It goes back to what I was saying earlier, why we don't sometimes move around things when it's right there, because you may not just be clear on what's right there. As you continuously use your discernment, it gets stronger. It gets stronger. It gets stronger and stronger till you just know what it is. You just know. You just know. But God was saying how I won't let you fall. He took me back over all my life. Well, not all of it, but for a nice part of it, my adult life especially. Even my childhood, my teenager years. I remember reflecting on that. It was a trip. I had a really rough childhood, to say the least. I'll share that one day. God has been moving me to kind of share some things, because it's quite interesting. And I know a lot of people go through different things, and we have to heal through a lot of these different things that we go through. And that I'm saying all that to say how God said, I will not let you fall. I've been with you all along, and I never let you fall. You may go through some things, because I done been through some things. Now, don't get me wrong, I done been in some situations. I've had to, they are begging for your attention, poor things. That too. Yeah. And how that's going, I don't know. And that's how I feel too, Miss Shelley. I feel for them. I be feeling for them, because it's like, and I can't even, and I'm at this place now where can't even get angry. I used to get angry. I used to be angry, but I don't get angry no more. I feel for them, because I know where they are. And not just that, you have to be pretty miserable to do some of the things that you do. And when I say they have to be pretty miserable, I'm not saying that to throw shade at them or, be egotistical about it. I'm saying that to say, a lot of people are miserable. A lot of people are sad. They're not at peace. They don't know who they are. That, and me knowing, being the opposite. When we are the opposite, we might still have our stuff we go through. We still trying to figure things out. But when you're in a much better place than a lot of people that's out here and don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. They just lost. And, that has to be miserable. So instead of getting angry these days, but I had to go through that first. You know how you got to go through the process. you go from maybe being hurt when it comes to certain things, of course, then you become angry, then you become a little bit more empathetic. There's levels. You go through that. That's part of your you maturing, and even in how you're dealing with things and processing things. But I feel for them, even the ones that want to body shame. I feel for you. It ain't even about the other person that you're trying to body shame or whatever, trying to insult in any way. I'm just using body shame as an example because, that was the one that came up. But what I had been hearing what God was talking to me about, the ones that want to body shame, because that's all they could come up with. They could come up with was my stomach. And I was like, so? Look, let the redeemed of the Lord say, so? Stomach? That's all you got? But like I said, if I go look at your house or your whatever, I can come up with a whole lot of stuff. But I ain't doing that. I ain't on that, because if anything, I pray that you can turn all the way around, all that around, so you won't even have to be operating like that. You know what I'm saying? I pray that you know who you are, that you receive God, that you receive Christ, that you turn from your wicked ways, turn towards God. So pray, humble yourself so he can heal your land, because clearly some healing is needed in those lands. You see what I'm saying, kingdom people? But not trying to get too off topic, even though it's very prevalent what I'm saying. God is saying it don't matter. And I know we know this, but he literally was like, I need you to just reinforce this, because he was reinforcing it to me. And it wasn't a matter of me thinking I'm going to fall. It was just a matter of him just letting me know and taking me through my life to say, have I ever let you fall? Will I ever end you on in my purpose? Like, that's the point right there. You in my purpose. You walking with me. You doing what I'm telling you to do. Do you think, not that I think that, but I'm just saying, God gonna let you fall? Fall. And then he said, now unto him, let me find it. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling. From falling. Then he said, and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory. Look, present you faultless. He can keep you from falling. He does keep you from falling. And he presents you blameless. So for them ones who trying to offend you, whatever it may be, he presenting you faultless, like literally. And that's part of why they be bothered. And I don't want to make this about them, because it's not. It's more about you just understanding that God will not let you fall. And that don't even just entail where it involves people trying to knock you off, just in life. Because in life, we go through it. We go through it, and it's on purpose, by the way. I was thinking about this morning, how, because I read something that brought it all to mind, how when Eve ate that apple, talking about, I want to eat that apple, or eat whatever, the fruit off, one of the apple, I think it was an apple, whatever she ate off that tree, God said no. But she did it because she wanted to know the wisdom, hidden knowledge. And the hidden knowledge was that of good and evil. And it's not the first time this occurred to me, but when I was reading I think I was reading a scripture that went with my devotion this morning. It had to be something. Something I was reading this morning that took me to that. And I sat there and I said, the reason why God didn't want you to know good and want you to eat that, because he didn't want you to know evil. Think about that. He only wanted you to know good. He only wanted us to know good. So when Eve bit on that apple, then passed one over to Adam, and they, now we know evil. And so now we have to deal with what comes. I heard a young lady I was in a shop this morning, and she said, she was just talking about some different things. And she was like, what kind of a world do we live in? I often hear people say that, and it just kind of puts something on my mind, because I thought of that. We live in a world of good and evil. That's that's the world we live in, because Adam and Eve and Adam. Let me put Eve first, and I'm not casting nothing on nobody. I'm not doing that, but I'm saying she was the initiator, but Adam was the head. He was supposed to say no, because she obviously, and that serpent had her, but that's how they are. When you don't, it goes back to don't know no better. But even though she didn't know no better, I don't want to go too much into this, she did, because God said no. If God tell you no, that means no. Now, let me switch gears, because I don't want to get too much into that. In spite of that, God still will not keep you from falling, because that was the fall right there. That's where we failed at. And then Jesus had to come to pick our behinds back up. And if you are with him, I just read this too this morning. What did it say? How, I don't want to, when you, in other words, when you are in him, how he will keep you. When you are in Christ Jesus, there's certain things that just are yours. I'm gonna try to remember, go look it up, because I'm pretty sure it was in my daily devotion. Find the scripture was, and I'm gonna actually link it. It's gonna be the first thing in a description box whenever I get to, edit it and put everything in there. But the point that I'm making is this, kingdom people, because you are with God, because you are his, I mean, I don't even have to go no further. He's saying he won't keep you from falling. I'm just reminded of you, apostle, because yeah, you going through it. You ain't the only one, by the way, just so you know. You got company. But like I said, I really don't, I had this thing where I'm like, I mean, everybody has problems, I guess, if that's what you want to call them. But I remember a young lady, she's actually my elder years ago. She's no longer with us, but years ago, she would say, I don't have problems. God got problems. And I adapted that. I adapted that attitude. Things do come up, but I feel like, goddamn, your problems, for the most part, not being irresponsible, not in that way, not in the way of just being like, I ain't got no problems, that's on you, God, not like that. But he's the problem solver. So if something coming up and he the problem solver, I could take it to him. I ain't got no problems, because he gonna solve the problem. But you get what I'm saying, kingdom people. I understand everybody got something going on in life, but do you know that as you adjust your attitude and the way that I'm hearing, perceive a thing, it can shift your whole it just can shift everything. In other words, things come up, things happen, things are going on. But kingdom people, when I tell you guys, I don't be moved by stuff. I really don't be. Now, don't get me wrong. It took some time. It took some time to get me here. Now, I'm going to take my time. But kingdom people, it took some time to get there. But I have to honestly say I'm not moved by most things. I'm not saying that some can't come up that, because, certain things are just a little bit more, depending on what it is, of course. But for the most part, I'm not moved, because I've honestly got to this place where if God be God and if he be for me, and not just that, kingdom people, but if all these things are working for my good, what I need to know is, okay, what do I need to do here? Or God, what you gonna do? Or just put it in his hands, depending on what it is, of course. The whole thing and all that is that God's not gonna let you fall. You just have to know that, and you have to do your part in that. You can't fall. You can't fall. You can fall short, and we all do that. I fell short today. I was sleepy. I was sleepy. I woke up sleepy. I felt like I fell short today. I did. I was tripping out. I was sitting there like, I went to bed last night. I wasn't up late. I did have to get up kind of early, but I was tired. And I'm like, but I pushed through. I do that. You have to. But I'm saying all that to say that I fell short. But I ain't fall. You understand what I'm saying? And God will not let you fall. That's pretty much, kingdom people, all I'm saying here. God just wanted me to let you all know. And many of you already know. But he said reinforce it. He will not let you fall. I don't know what you all are going through. I don't know what you're going to go through. I don't know what you're being through. But God said he will not let you fall. He will not let you fall. And what you don't know and what you still trying to understand. And that's why you have to be so gentle with I keep on to say, so gentle with yourself. So gentle with yourself. You have to be not just gentle, but I'm hearing so gentle with yourself, because there's nothing you can do about what you don't know, or it's nothing you can do about where you're not at yet. It's nothing you can do about that. So be gentle with yourself, and just know and understand God will not let you fall. He's not gonna let you fall. So even when things come up, You know, Apostle, you said money crazy. God's not going to let you fall. I don't care how crazy your money is or whatever else is. God is not going to let you fall. It could be something else. Sometimes we have to just learn how to do things different. You know, it's all a process. Sometimes we repeat. You can repeat the same lesson, not lesson, but the same thing over and over because you're not getting the lesson. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It happens. I see it happening. I don't experience it much because I'm real big on what do I need. I'm real big on what I need to know, what I need to do. But what I'm saying here is that even in that, God ain't going to let you fall. Even when you have had people in your life, kingdom people, this is what God is bringing it to me right now, that he say, that person is a block in your life. You need to remove yourself from them because certain people in your life are blockages. God can't move you forward with certain people because some people are just that. They're cursed. They're just blockages. Even when you're around people like that, God ain't gonna let you fall. He might not be able to move you forward. Think about that. And we all know a little something about that. And always when them people were in our life, it doesn't mean that they were not supposed to be there. But what happens was when God starts showing us and saying, hey, that's when we have to listen and act accordingly. You know, but prior to that, you know, you don't know. And even if they are a hindrance, they're really not because it's all in God's timing. It's all in God's timing. But he won't let you fall. I don't care what it is. You can be, even, I don't even want to think about, I don't know why that, something like that just came to me. I don't even know what to say to that. Even when someone is in an abusive situation, because I don't know why you bringing this to him, talking to God like that. I don't know why you saying this to me. I'm just being shown a woman in an abusive marriage or situation, and she doesn't leave the situation, and she ends up no longer with us. That's what God is giving me right now, but I'm not sure. Oh, wow. God saying that he didn't let her fall. She just didn't move. She didn't. Sometimes it goes back to what I was saying. If you don't remove yourself from a situation when God is telling you to, it's not that God made you fall, let you fall. It's kind of you not, you know, doing what he's telling you to do and kept yourself in a situation. Not you per se, but that's just what he's giving me concerning that matter. So in other words, even if something happened, it's not because God let you fall. It's not because God let you fall. So you have a responsibility in it all. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And again, yes, you're learning, you're growing, you're evolving. And I'm just going to say this. You have to be on top of it. Because that will cause you to fall. But it's not God letting you fall. That would be you letting you fall. Because God is always right there. And I'm just getting a depiction right now. How, you know how we see Jesus in those portraits or whatever with his hands reached out. That's what I'm seeing. And God is always there to help you. Always. All with any and with everything. He's always there. Trust and believe me. He's always there. It's just up to you to follow his lead, to let him help you. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes it might be something that ain't, I want to say you don't want to hear, or that's something that's what you want to go with. But what I'm really getting God hearing God say that it's not pleasing to your flesh. That's what he's saying to me. Your flesh don't be wanting to change sometimes. You know, just like, you know, if you around something, you familiar with it, you accustomed to it. I'm here in comfort zone, even when it's uncomfortable. Because I'm just reminded again of being in an abusive situation. Can't nothing be comfortable about that. But at the same time, it's what you know, it's what you're familiar with. Not you per se, but I'm just speaking in general, kingdom people. It's what you're familiar with. And what I'm being shown too is that the unknown can be scary and it'll make you stay. And that's where you can go wrong. That can cause your fall. You can't stay somewhere where God said go. I'm reminded of Sodom and Gomorrah when the angels told Lot, listen, Lot, you better get your wife and your peeps and get up out of here because it's about to go down. Now, had Lot not acted on that, he would have failed. His wife did. His wife looked, well, she just looked back. I think that scripture say that they were told not to look back. Yeah. But she looked back. She failed. That was her fall. But it wasn't because God wasn't there. He sent the angels to give her, hey, get on up out of here. We're about to destroy it over here. And it's not that God didn't do his part. He did. But she didn't do her part. She looked back. She was told not to look back. So, in essence, you have a part to play in not falling. But God is saying He will not let you fall. He won't let you fall. But you have to be responsible. You have to take heed. You have to act on it. And I'm just being led to say, don't be fearful. Don't be afraid, because I could just sense it. Anxiety right now. You know, because sometimes you can be worried about, am I doing the right thing? Listen, you have to chill. You really do. You have to chill, let God lead you. You have to have strength and courage, I'll say. I'm going to call it courage, to act on things and do things even when it's not comfortable. Because that's where your grace is. Your grace is where is in moving with God. See, when God is moving you here and he's saying, come on, let's go over here, let's do this, and you're not doing it and you still somewhere else, there's no grace. His grace has moved to where he's leading you to. But if you're not following his leading and going with what he's telling you to do, he kind of ain't there with you as far as that's concerned. And the other part of that is obedience. You have to learn how to be obedient. You don't have to learn. You have to just be obedient. I'm hoping, I don't want to say learn, because I'm believing that you all are already in that place. And if you're not, yeah, you might want to get there. Because I feel like all this kind of stuff is a waste of time. You seeking God, seeking his ways, trying to get your life right, trying to walk in your purpose, trying to whatever, where God is concerned and where your life and your purpose and you wanting to do God's will is concerned, it's useless if you're not going to be obedient and do what he tells you to do. It's a waste of time. And that's why we see so many people, and it's so crazy, God, this is crazy, up in these churches, and I'm not going to be talking about these churches, that's just there. Because they ain't no big, not all of them, of course, you know what I'm saying, kingdom people, but it's a lot. But it ain't God. God don't call, it's not God. We all have free will choice. God told me this morning. And it's on a whole nother subject, but he was talking about to me about them ones. And how they even, certain things, how they basically took the bait. And even the ones he was talking to me particularly about, the ones that call themselves saved or of God or whatever you want to call it, or Christian, anything of that nature that has to do with, I walk with God, you walk with God. I'm real big on, I don't necessarily say it, I just do my best to do it. I just do my best to do it, because I like to live up to what I need to live up to, instead of anyway, God said this to me today. He was talking to me about them ones, and particular certain ones that I didn't know personally, but just in general, and how they do that. Why they, you in a church, or you supposed to be walking with God, but he was talking to me particularly about these ones that have tried to do you wrong, have tried to stop you, block you, holding the jealousy. He said this to me. He said, see, and we all know this, maybe not, but many of us, I believe, do. He said, see, you can't serve God and the devil. Sounds simple, but God said you can't serve both God and the devil. He said, choose ye this day whom ye will serve. Because you're going to love one and hate the other. And he said to me, see, when the enemy start ruling up in you so much to the point, or ruling you and you thinking you getting away with stuff and stuff ain't catching up to you, God said you start to love the devil. And so now you done gotten away from God. Because now you doing devil stuff. You out here messing with his kingdom people. You out here hating, trying to gaslight and manipulate and all that stuff. He said, and I just heard God say, I'm not with them. But I ain't trying to go into that, God. I mean, I'm going to whatever God say, but I'm saying, come on, that's a whole other thing. But it does apply here. Because if you didn't, see, when you keep, that's why we have to be responsible and we have to be careful. Because when you work doing the devil stuff, you work for the devil. God was talking to me the other day about somebody, an elder man, I'm going to say that, who, you know, years ago, he brought to my attention something happened years ago. And I pointed out to this person something that was in the Bible. Me, silly, young, I ain't know no better. I was learning the word. I mean, like, when I say learning, like in the Bible, reading it. I grew up in church all my life, but I wasn't like studying in it like that for myself until I gave my life to Christ as an adult. And so, and this was like, it had to be like 2002. I gave my life to Christ in 2003. So this was maybe around 2003 or 2004, something like that. And this person, was reading in the Bible, where it was saying how if you were married and you get a divorce and the man marry you or something like that, then you are committing adultery, something like that. And I mentioned this to this person because they had been married and divorced and was married to somebody else. And so I was saying it like, oh, did you know that? But I'm not trying to trip on them, but I was just like, whoa. And I knew that'd be the case with this person and other people too that I knew that of. But I don't know, for some reason, she the one came to man and my crazy stuff called her. Like I said, young and silly, I don't know. And she said, yeah, but thank God for, I think she said for his grace or for his forgiveness or something like that. And that's true. That's right. But I was just more like, wow, did you know that? That's the place I was coming from. I wasn't trying to be insulting or nothing like that. Just not mindful of, that might be a little insulting. But like I said, I was much younger and I didn't know. I hadn't matured yet. And that's a part of what happens. You know, what I was saying earlier, we don't know things, but God will keep us. He would keep us from falling as we're maturing. So anyway, I mentioned that to say, later on down the line, this is one of the people that being on crazy with me. And God brought this person to my attention. I don't deal with them no more. But, you know, one of the people that was over the years was on crazy with me. God brought this person to my attention and said, see, it's not that that my grace is not there and it's not that you're not forgiven. God said this is clear as day to me. He said, but when you're repeatedly doing the thing to cause harm to another and you thinking you getting away with it, you know that's not of me. You know, you got some stuff going on in there, deal with it. Bring it to me. Let me work that out in you instead of keep thinking you're going to tamper and jump over my child. And this is a whole nother subject. I don't want to go too much in it. But he said, because of the God you see, because of me, he said, this is God speaking, because you see me in them. He said that, you know, acting all crazy and tripping because of that. He said that don't apply. The forgiveness, I mean, of course God is a forgiving God, but he was just saying this is the point that he was making. He said it don't apply there because you willingly, on purpose, knowing what you're doing over and over and over again to harm another, not just another, someone who you looking at and you see God is in them and it's bothering you, making you jealous. He said that the problem comes in that choose ye this day whom you will serve. When you keep on doing what you're doing to mess with my child, and you know that's my child, you looking and you know that's what this is, but you keep on and you just messing with him and you choosing the devil. He said, God said, you serving the devil. You making a choice because you not choosing to handle them in a godly way, even though they do that too. You know how they got two faces, two sides. You know, they nice and but underhandedly, passive aggressively, you know, some would say secretly, they really hating on you and tripping on you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. God said they making a choice. They making a choice when they doing that. They choosing the devil. And see, because you can't serve God and the devil. You gonna love one or hate the other. And God said this to me. He said they start loving the devil because they start loving all the manipulation and all the, they start loving that. And they just get deeper into it and they just keep going. And like I said, you think you're getting away with it. You really ain't getting away with nothing. You really just bringing curse upon curse upon curse upon curse upon curse upon yourself. And then I just heard again, and then God said, I'm not with them. He said he has left them. He told them, depart from me. I know you not. But kingdom people, even in all that, God will not let you fall. But it's up to you to not let yourself fall. It's up to you to not let yourself fall, to not let yourself go. God will always uphold you. I'm reminded, he said, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. He said, I will make you as sure-footed as a deer. I love that. Because when you think of a deer, how deers be sure-footed, don't they? They just be looking up and looking out just as confident as they can be. So God equip you and he give you what you need. He say, I got you. But you have to have you too. You have to do your part too. You can't, you have to choose you this day. Now we know we say, I love God, I'm doing it, yeah, but you just, and I'm not saying you forsaking the people, but yes, you too, me too, have to be responsible. God is dealing with me right now about something that I'm not clear on, because I'm not going to sit here for 1 second and tell you everything in the Bible I get and I understand and I'm clear. It's not true. It's certain things and I'm like, okay, God, I need you to show me exactly what this is and what it means. You know, I get a lot of my understanding from God, all of it. I don't just go off of what people saying, and especially if I don't know. I have to let God show me. And so it's this one particular thing that I'm like, God, is, you know, I need you to show me what it is and what the right thing is, what's appropriate, and specifically where I'm concerned in this whole thing, because it's something that's happening and it's there. And I'm like, well, what is, you know, show me. He showed me this morning. He showed me something. He took me right to it. I was in the scripture. I was read it. Now it's in the Old Testament. So, you know, I'm saying all this to say, you just got to be careful. But you have to let God lead you. You have to let God lead you. You let God lead you, you will not go wrong. Even in this thing that God is showing me and dealing with me about, when it's all said and done, if it be Latricia, you have to stop doing this, because I'm saying you need to stop doing this. You have to let this go. Latricia is going to do just that. Will it be comfortable to Latricia, to her flesh, to probably not, but I don't care nothing about that. I ain't over here trying to please my flesh. You understand what I'm saying, kingdom people? I'm not, well, kinda. But y'all get what I'm saying. It really ain't about pleasing my flesh. I don't know. I just said that because sometimes that is what it be. Or just what you know. And I'm hearing what you want to do. And it's not, I'm going to say this part too. It was something that I felt led to do some time ago, or felt like I wanted to do. Let me be clear. God just said, no, that ain't what it was, because he reminded me of one day he said to me, I didn't tell you to do that. But it was more of a thing that I knew I could. I wanted to try it. But now God is kind of showing me it may not be in your best interest to do that. And he showed me in the scriptures. But he's still giving me understanding surrounding it, speaking to me about it. And then he'll help me to, you know, and it's not that big of a deal for this. But some things are. This is some real innocent and it's not. But it can become a problem if you're not careful. Which goes right back to what I'm saying. And what I'm talking about, me, has nothing to do with doing the devil's, trying to hurt somebody and harm somebody continuously. But I'm just using that as an example too, in comparison to the people that try to hurt you on purpose. and they're choosing the devil. It can be the same thing if God is saying, hey, it ain't even got nothing to be nothing bad you doing. You ain't hurting nobody else. And I just heard God say, something, you hurting yourself. Sometimes it's you hurting yourself when God said, mm-mm. And it is different for everybody. This, what I'm speaking of right now, is I don't want to go too much and say that's like opening up a whole can of worms, saying what it is. Maybe at a later date, but right now I have to work through what this is. But it's something that, if you don't know, you don't know. And I hear people saying certain things surrounding it, not exactly what this is, but I wasn't clear. So I needed God to show me. And he's doing that. What the overall end result is, I don't know, because he's showing me what it is. He's letting me know. And I'm like, okay, so what does that exactly mean? So he's showing me, he's taking me through the process. But I'm saying all that too to say this. Whatever the end result is and whatever God say do, that's what I would do. That is how I keep myself from falling. Here's the thing, kingdom people. God is already doing what he needs to do to keep me from falling. And I'm talking about me. Because here's the thing. If I do the wrong thing, I could very well fall. But I'm not going to do that. I was just reminded of how people be wanting you to do that. People want you to sabotage yourself, because God be telling me that kind of stuff too. People want you to do something to mess yourself up, because people just want to see you fall. And these are the same people that don't listen to God. So they want you to, overall, don't listen to God. God was telling me the other day, people just, a certain person in particular, just so angry. Because I listen to God. Because I have a connection with God, like angry. But they're only angry because they can't do anything to manipulate me. They can't do anything to come to me and say you can't lie, come and lie, or trick me, or nothing like that. And so the thing about that is that when you have that discernment and you have that relationship with God, you in good hands. And he will keep you from falling. He won't let you fall again. You have to do your part. And I'm going to get ready to get on up out of here. But I want to emphasize, I don't want anyone to be fearful or anxious, but I do want you to understand the importance, because it's important. God wants us to live our life. He wants us to enjoy our life. He wants us to do what he, God has us here to do. And it's a lot. It's a lot that comes with that. But God is with you. He'll help you through it. He'll walk you through it. But at the same time, it's to be taken seriously. It's to be taken seriously, because it's serious business. Kingdom business is serious business. I just heard God ain't shooking and jiving. Why I couldn't say that? Because I was trying to say something else. Tipping and tapping. God ain't shooking and jiving and tipping and tapping. He for real. He for real. And at the same time, want you to enjoy your life, be at peace, be blissful, all that. Because he did tell us that we're going to have some stuff in this world. We're going to have trials. We're going to have tribulation. So don't be surprised. But he also says rejoice. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to have that balance. You just have to know that God will not let you fall. So kingdom people, God will not let you fall. Please don't cause your own self to be your downfall. And I'm just hearing, not my kingdom people. So again, I just want to reinforce that God ain't letting you fall. You just keep walking with him. You just keep doing what he's telling you to do. Whatever you got going on that's going crazy, there's a lesson in that. There's a blessing in that. It be different things for different people, but it is what it is. It's all working for your good. Understand that, stand on that, walk through your processes, knowing that, and knowing that God will not. He will not. God, you're so good. I just keep hearing him repeating it. He like, I will not. God will not let you fall. He will not. Kingdom people. I'ma go. But I just need you to know, God is saying he will not. Not now. You do your part. Be responsible like you been doing. And improve at it. Because we improving over here. We maturing. We coming more and more and more into who we are in God. We tapping more and more into that greatness, his greatness that's in us. So yeah, that's always room to level up, to upgrade, to act, those things. But continue to be responsible. And I'm saying continue. I just heard what I said. Because you already responsible, kingdom people. You listen, you wouldn't even be here if you wasn't responsible. You wouldn't be here if you weren't responsible. And not just here with me, but yeah, here with me right now. You wouldn't be here if you weren't responsible. You wouldn't even care about this kind of stuff. But you're responsible, and God is saying keep being responsible. Keep doing your part. But he's saying, him, God, he's not going to let you fall. He's not. It's not happening, kingdom people. It's not happening. A slap to God himself, Ebony says. Tired of abuse. I'm exhausted. Sober chick. Well, I don't know what your situation is, but I'm praying for you. Abuse can be exhausting, which is why God don't want you in it, because it's not good for you. Sometimes he allows it. It's part of the process. But I'm gonna tell you this: I don't know what your situation is, but what I'm feeling led to say is you got to remove yourself from whatever. However, I don't know how your stuff's set up or what you're talking about, but I'm hearing the Holy Spirit say you need to remove yourself. You have a responsibility, and if you don't know what to do, ask God. Do something. Do something. And don't let nobody scare you into thinking that you got to sit and take their abuse, or they going to do something. Made me think of child molesters. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. That's why I didn't want to just say it. But it make me think of that because that's how they do. They'll tell you, if you tell, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to kill you, or whatever they say. Grown people do that to grown people. Grown abusers do that to grown people they abusing too. They threaten them, and if you don't know no better, or you might just be sincerely scared and afraid, and like I was saying, that unknown, it's a trip. Listen, my heart goes out to you. I judge you not. Well, I wouldn't do that anyway, but listen, I just pray you find your way out. Whatever it is, let God help you through it. Get out of that. Get out of that situation. Because that's not something that God wants for you. That's the devil. The devil wants you to be in an abusive situation. And it is exhausting. Let me tell you something, sis. It can be so exhausting that it'll make you do something. That's me. I was just talking to somebody the other day about that. Had certain things I stopped doing because I was exhausted. Certain things I stepped away from because it was exhausting. Sometimes you got to get exhausted to take action. Sometimes you got to get exhausted to be responsible, to take responsibility for yourself and take yourself out of unpleasant, unhealthy, dysfunctional situations. I'm hearing abusive situations, and put yourself in a better place. And it don't mean that life stops and everything is peaches and cream. Life's still gonna go on, and you still have to deal with things and work through things, but you just have to take responsibility for yourself, walk with God, let him help you. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, because I would be lying. I'm not going to tell you it's easy, but God God said he will not let you fall. He will not let you fall. And I'm hearing him say right now to you, sober chick, God is saying he will not let you fall. He's not going to let you fall, but you have to, what I'm literally getting is that you have to take action. And I don't know what that action is. But like I said, I'm praying for you. It really is. I would have never thought I would be in this abusive relationship. Wow. And it can sneak up on you. Yeah, I was in one too. Now, it wasn't physically abusive. If anything, I was a physically abusive one. Trying to fight and make them listen. But I had to learn, like, you can't do that. Because now you're being abusive. The abuse was something else, emotional, or was trying to be emotional. I call it you was trying to abuse me, but it was still felt. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good feeling when you know somebody is not good for you and doing things that's, it's like whatever that, but that's what I had to learn, that that's what they were there to do. That was their intention, to hurt me, to beat me down, to break me down. And you know, I never thought I would be in that kind of a situation. But when you find yourself in that kind of a situation, you got to do what you need to do, and don't beat up on yourself. I want to say that to you too. Don't. Message. What do I do? It looked like I deleted something by mistake. I didn't mean to do that. What did I do? Sorry. Did I do that? Oh no, I didn't do that. Okay, Gwendolyn Hunt Hagler. I don't even know what it said because it's deleted. It's saying I deleted it though. That's weird. Amen. Maybe I did. Amen. Anyway, sober chick, talk to God about it. Check the actions He's telling you to take. I'm praying for you. As I said, God's saying He won't let you fall. You know, I almost want to tell you, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head, but I mean, there's a lot of good information out there that's helpful for you, that can help you. Oh, I pushed delete by mistake. Thank you. You know how to work this better than I do. I did it again, didn't I? Yep. Sorry about that, Gwendolyn. Amen. Enough is enough. Now I see it. I did it again up here. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm not meaning to. Sorry. My apologies. Thank you, Apostle. I needed your help. Okay. I don't know. At that time, I didn't even touch it, and it did it on its own. I seen it change, but I wasn't even touching nothing. Anyway, God ain't gonna let us fall. I don't know what this chat doing and what this chat talking about, but you all, I want to thank you again for being here. Absolutely, sober chick. As I said, I am praying for you, and I do mean that. Yeah, you go and be free. You get yourself free. You get yourself free, and keep getting free, and keep getting free, and keep being free, and keep being free. Cause we free. Know already that you free. Know already. Just begin to declare just with yourself that you are free. I am free. Start speaking that every day to yourself out loud, but where nobody else can hear you. And the reason why I say where nobody else can hear you, because you don't need nobody all up in your stuff. This ain't about nobody else. This between you and God. Start speaking that you are free. You are free. I am free. I am free. And start taking them steps and taking them actions that God is leading you to take. And I'm telling you, you're going to be free before you know it. And again, it's a process, and it's not the easiest, but God is with you. Know that. Know that. Embody that. Carry that. Act like you know. In other words, everything you do, know God is with you and that He is not going to let you fall. Okay? So, Kingdom people, with that being said, I love you all so very much. I really do appreciate you all being here with me, spending this time. I really just want you to really, really understand and know. And I know most of y'all know. But I really want y'all to know. I need you to understand that God will not let you fail. He will not. He will not let you fall. See, I said fail. But the word is fall. He won't let you fail either, He said. He won't let you fall. He won't let you fail. Okay? Kingdom people. You all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Kingdom people, above all else, please, please, please let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, y'all already know. We still untouchable. We still unmovable. We still unbreakable. And we still unstoppable. Kingdom people, that is my time. Praise God, Pamela. Praise God. I love you all. Mwah, 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 mwah. That's my time, y'all. Jesus girl is out. Peace.